Good morning, everyone. Today, I, Nishi Leon, student of BSc second year, is here before you to present my presentation on health belief model, that is under the guidance of Sister Jolly. As you can see on your screens, first we'll discuss what is model. Model is a theoretical way of understanding concept or idea. So, what we do with the model is it is a theoretical way of understanding. So theoretical way itself means that it utilizes theory rather than any practical experiences. So with the use of model, we understand the theoretical way of any concept. Then talking about health beliefs. So with the word beliefs, we understand that it is a faith upon something without any proof. Like when we say we have faith in God, that is, we have never seen God, but we have faith on Him. So like that only, it is about health beliefs. Whatever beliefs we are having, we don't have the particular proof about the thing, but only the belief or the perceptions we have made in our minds regarding a particular health situation is known as health beliefs. So here we can see these are persons' ideas, convictions, attitudes about health and illness. Okay. Now we will move on to the definition of health belief model. You can note down this definition because I think this particular topic isn't in the RCT book, so you can note down if you want. Whatever elements you feel like to note down, you can note down from here. So first we'll see the definition. The health belief model, HBM for short, is a social psychological health behavior change model developed to explain and predict health related behaviors. So it is a social psychological health behavior model which is developed to predict health related behaviors. Okay, so it is basically developed to predict any kind of health related behavior, what a person will react for his health, or if his health get any problem, then he will how will have the behavior, or what behaviors of him causes changes towards his health. So that particular thing we will see it. This is explained by this health belief model. It was developed by Rosenstock in 1966. So it was developed by Rosenstock in 1966. So this is important one, you can note down this. Next, we will see the history of HBM, that is health belief model. It was developed in the 50s by the US Public Health Service. Second, social psychologists were asked to explain why people do not participate in health behaviors. Those days, the people would not have participated in the particular health behavior thing. So these were the question raised by the people to the social psychologists as they were giving this particular behavior model. It was based on operant and cognitive behavioral theory. So it was based on operant and cognitive behavioral theory. So what is this operant and cognitive behavioral theory? So the operant behavior theory is basically, this theory was given to make modification or to shape the behavior of people, of an individual. And similarly, the cognitive behavioral theory was also made for this only, but the only thing which is added to this is the word cognitive, which means like they have added the thoughts behind the particular behavioral change. So they'll see that also. Then we'll see the premise of health belief model. Now, individuals will take action to ward off, to screen for, or to control an ill health condition. So the person will take actions. When we'll see the points, when will an individual take action to regarding his health condition. First, they regard themselves as susceptible to the condition. When they feel they are susceptible to the particular condition, then they will take the action. Then second is they believe it to have potentially serious. When they'll know their serious consequences, then they will go for action. Then they believe a course of action can reduce the susceptibility and seriousness. Then when they feel that taking the particular action will actually help them in their susceptibility and seriousness of the disease, then obviously they'll move to take action for the particular disease. The last one is they believe the costs of action are outweighed by its benefits. So now they will, when they will get the feeling that the benefits they are getting from taking the particular action is more than what the amount of cost they are paying for that particular action. Like for if they are spending more time, more money, that is less than what the benefit they are getting. The benefit is more. So then in that case they will go for to take in particular action. Then as you can see in the screen, this is basically some this is the components of the health belief model. So first is perceived susceptibility, then perceived severity, then third is perceived benefits, then fourth is cues to action, and then last one is self efficacy. Okay, we'll see the components of the HBM, that is health belief model. First is perceived susceptibility. So the word susceptibility or the susceptible word, this means like to be harmed by a particular thing. So we'll see what is perceived susceptibility now. An individual's perception of her or his risk of contracting a health condition. So this means that when the individual has a perception of that he is at the risk of getting a particular disease or particular health condition, so that is known as perceived susceptibility. Then talking about perceived severity, an individual's perception of the seriousness of a health condition if left untreated. So now as the word says, severity means something which is serious, very serious. So it's the individual perception of the seriousness of the disease, like what are the serious consequences which could happen through that particular disease. Like in case of susceptibility, if we say, we could take the example like first one I'm telling about the susceptibility example. Like nowadays the condition is very bad, the COVID is spread very badly in our country. So like for example, a person who is not taking any precautionary measures, who is not washing hands, not using sanitizer, not taking vaccinations, and continuously roaming around here and there. So after he someone tells him that yeah, this can cause you this COVID thing, so now he feels like now I am at the risk of getting this particular disease. Then talking about the perceived severity, now he will perceive that, now he will think of that, because if I'll get this particular disease, what could be the serious consequences which can occur to me. Like the person can think like yeah, I can have lung damage, I will be isolated, my family can be at the risk, I could die, and those are the severities which can happen through COVID. So he'll think of that. So that is known as perceived severity. Then third one is perceived benefits. Then the perceived effectiveness of taking action to improve the health condition. So now he will perceive the things like what action he can take to improve his particular health condition. Like in case he was having this thing in his mind, that particular person, that I could have this COVID, this could be the dangerous situations which I can get into. Now if he feels like okay, if I've not got this COVID till now, I can now take some precautionary elements like taking washing hands, using sanitizers, then going going to take the vaccinations, then keeping everything he's doing. Like so he'll see the benefits of that, like if I'll do all this, then I'll be immune, and then I won't get this COVID, and I won't have to go through that serious consequences either. So these are the perceived benefits he think of if he takes the action. So now he says okay, the benefits are very good, so I'll go for that particular action. Then perceived barriers, the perceived impedance to taking action to improve a health condition. So now some of the perceived thinkings he think, or the thing he has, that is stopping him from taking the particular action. Like some of the barriers can be like, if he feels like now I can go to for the vaccination, but the already there are many rumors that some people are dying because of the vaccination. So now these are some of the barriers he had, like lack of knowledge of the particular how we will take the vaccination, where has he has to register, how, what is the cost, if it is free or if it is free or of cost or not, and if it is not causing any harm to him. So that could be the barriers of him for not taking the particular action of taking the vaccinations. Then cues to action. What is cues to action? Body or environmental events that trigger the HBM. So these are the events or body or environmental events that trigger the HBM. So that gives a little push towards taking the particular actions. Like now he gets the information about the vaccination, he gets his registration done. Now these are some of the triggering factors. Now the registration has also been done. Now he has that trigger thing in him. Now he gets the reminder. Now he gets to take the particular action, he gets to go to take the particular vaccination. Then last one is self-efficacy, confidence to continue the healthy behavior and overcome the temptations. Now he feels, now I am, now after taking the vaccination, now he's confident enough that now he has gone some amount of immunity to cope up with that particular situation. Now he feels like now I have to go take the keep up that thing and follow the good habits and all that thing to continue my good health. So that is self-efficacy. Now I'll play a short video. With that you will be able to understand the thing with more examples. Okay, so the video is coming, you can watch it. It is a short video. Okay.
The health belief model.
In this video, we're going to show you an example of someone using the health belief model to adopt healthy behaviors using the 6 important steps of the health belief model.
This is Jeff. Jeff recently was informed by his doctor that he is in the overweight category for his BMI. Jeff is now aware and concerned of his unhealthy lifestyle.
Perceived susceptibility. Jeff believes if he keeps up his eating habits and his lack of exercise, he could become obese.
Perceived severity. Jeff believes the consequences of becoming obese could lead to other health problems and that this could be a serious enough condition to try and avoid.
Perceived benefits. Jeff thinks that having a proper diet and exercise will prevent him from becoming obese.
Perceived barriers. Jeff is embarrassed to go to the gym because of his lack of knowledge about exercise, so he seeks a trainer.
Cues to action. Jeff leaves a sticky note in his mirror to remind him to work out every morning and rewards himself on the weekends for having a well diet during the week.
Self-efficacy. Over time, Jeff builds confidence exercising and eating right, which allows him to keep on the positive behavior.
So as you have seen the video, so in that we saw about Jeff, who is an obese person, who is moving towards to be the obese person. So for the first time he feels that he's now having a high more BMI. Then he feels to take action regarding this. Then he feels he's susceptible of being obese. Then second thing what he sees in the perceived seriousness is the consequences of being obese, that he could have this many diseases, because obesity can lead to many diseases. So he feels that okay, so these are the serious consequences of that. So then talking about the benefits, the barriers and cues to actions, then the self efficacy. Now at the last he feels like, okay, I have done a lot of exercise and now I'm feeling confident enough. So I'm sure you might be clear with that things, the components of the health belief model. So we'll move on to the modifying factors. Now what are the modifying factors in health belief model? First is demographic variables, the age, gender, etc. So the age and gender could affect the particular component of this health belief model. Socio-psychological variables, since it's a socio-psychological model, obviously the socio-psychological variables will affect the health belief model. The social psychological variables, as you can see in the screen, it is personality, peer group, any kind of personality. If he's having a positive personality, if Jeff had the, if you can see in the video, as you saw, the chef had this positive personality that he will go and he tried his best to lose his weight so that he does not get obese. He did exercise. So type of personality also matters. If he had been so pessimist, so he would not have tried that also, he would have left it then and there only. So it affects the particular thing. And the peer group, which is a surrounding, peer group is the group we are living with, the people, so they are also very much affecting the particular component of this health belief model. Then structural variables like knowledge and prior contact with the disease and knowledge regarding the particular disease or the particular health condition, which is also important. Then other advices, like people who are giving advices. So some people, they listen more, they are more often listen to the advices of the other people rather than of themselves. So and sometimes the people's advices are good enough, so they get influenced and they believe now they can make changes in their lifestyle for the particular thing. Then mass media is very good for creating a awareness regarding any kind of health condition, which could help a person to realize that he is having a particular health condition, ill effects on his health. So with that he can move on to making lifestyle changes and etc things. Then we'll see strength. Then strength of the health belief model, it can be used in conjunction with other models. So it can be used in conjunction with the other models. Then second is understanding what beliefs and attitude motivates behavior. So it basically helps the person to understand what belief. For us also it helps us to understand the other person, and the other person to himself also, he'll understand that what belief and attitude is giving him motivation to finally change his behavior. Then good for cessation and acquisition of the behavior, good for stopping any kind of bad behavior and starting any kind of good behavior. So then enhancing self-control, yes, with these components, if he'll try he'll level best with the help of health belief model, he can obviously enhance his self-control. Weakness, what are the weakness of health belief model? We'll see one by one. Not great for long term behavior change. So it is not very great for long term behavior change. It lacks predictive power. So it lacks any kind of predictive power. It cannot predict any particular thing. It is. Then third one is difficult to be tested. Yes, it is very theoretically based, so it cannot be tested. Then self-fulfilling prophecy. Now we'll move on to the quick revision in some of the questions. You can try it yourselves. We'll try together. First question is, health belief model was developed by A. Roger, B. Rosenstock. So it was developed by Rosenstock in 1966. We saw in the definition part. So the answer would be B. The second thing, health belief model predicts A. behavioral changes, B. health related behavior. So we saw in the definition again that it predicts the health related behaviors. So the answer would be B, the health related behavior. Then third question, if an individual perceives a risk of getting a particular disease she has, so the person is perceiving a risk of getting a particular disease. Okay, So first, she has perceived susceptibility, perceived severity, or perceived susceptibility. So answer, since he is perceiving a risk of getting a disease, and we saw it in that the susceptibility. So the answer would be perceived susceptibility. Then fourth question, cues to action is body and environment event that triggers action. B, hindrance that develops friction to do action. So we saw back itself that cues to action is, it is triggering us. So it is body and environmental event that triggers action. So fifth question is, strength of health belief model is A, enhances self-control and lacks predictive, B, lacks predictive power. So as you know, the lacks predictive power was in the weakness, so strength would be enhances self-control. So if you were able to do these questions, then it was good. Otherwise, you can go back and revise whatever things you lacked. Then if you want to get all the information I have taken from these books, you can see on the screen, you can refer them for your further things, for the further studies. And thank you for your cooperation.